Joel Ryals is 41 years of age and he lives near Bartow. We got a call. And the call was from his wife who said, there's a lot of stuff here. You need to check on it. So obviously our deputies and detectives responded, and what we found shocked us. We found silencers, an automatic firearm, and C4 explosives, blasting caps. We saw enough hardware to obviously have a major event. Now, fortunately for us, this guy likes law enforcement. In fact, he was in Mississippi doing a canine training class for a sheriff's office. Did I mention to you that he doesn't have any certification to teach canines? He was still there. He has a history in the military. He was in the Wyoming National Guard where he was a major. He was a sheriff's deputy for Hillsborough County for 3 or 4 years. He has been a police officer also in Kentucky. So he's been all around. He's got a wife and, as I understand, about 8 children, automatic firearm, C4 explosives, military grade, and a whole litany of things and tactical equipment that he apparently has stolen from the U.S. government. We called in our friends from ATF and the Fire Marshal's office because they're the experts in that area. And because of their investigation, we were able to obtain warrants, and we have a hold on him, and he's currently locked up, as I understand, in the jail where he was teaching the canine course. Bow wow. You can't believe this stuff. I mean, you just can't believe it. So at the end of the day, we know he has a very long history of law enforcement experience in different agencies, military experience in both the Army, Florida National Guard, and apparently he was a major in the Wyoming National Guard. He is an uncertified canine instructor. Fortunately, apparently he likes law enforcement, and he has not yet displayed any proclivity to be violent. But if that changed, he would have all the hardware to have bombs, a major event, or someone break into his house and have all of this horrible equipment that is only used to fight wars. So at the end of the day, we've now recovered it. It's in the appropriate hands once again, and he's locked up in the county jail.
How much firepower is all that stuff?
It's a lot. It's certainly well in excess of what active shooters take into large venues.
What kind of damage could it do?
Lots of damage. I mean, he had automatic firearm. He had silencers, lots of silencers. He had C4, it's an explosive. He had equipment, he had night vision. He had all of the equipment necessary for a stealthful attack, an overt attack. He had the equipment to blow up. I don't know how much 1.5 pounds of C4 would blow up, but I would suggest to you quite a bit.
How disturbing is it to know that this man lived in your county with all of this military-grade
Well,
explosives?
what is disturbing to us is that he was still inculcated with law enforcement. He is in Mississippi at a sheriff's office training canines without a permit, by the way, again. And that's where he was when he was arrested. So we asked for a picture of him, and apparently, I don't know if they took him out of the jail, but it looks like the picture that they took of him for us is in an office environment. I doubt the sheriff is letting him continue with the canine class while he's in the county jail, but who knows?
So is there anything that he told you or that the wife, I don't mean you personally, I mean any of these investigators, that would indicate that he had some kind of nefarious plan? Or
No.
did he just like to collect stuff?
At this point in time, we don't see anything that would indicate to us that he was preparing for a attack on any person or place. He seems to have been the kind of guy that was a doomsday prepper, that was collecting this stuff in the unlikely event that he would ever need it. But the frightening point is that he had all of this. Had he decided to get mad at law enforcement or the military, or he wanted to make a statement since he could no longer really be in law enforcement because of, apparently he burned bridges at many of these agencies, he could have been dangerous. Fortunately though, he likes law enforcement, and he did not, I underscore, it did not pose any obvious threat that we're aware of.
Did he get a dishonorable discharge from the military?
I think he got I don't know that he got a dishonorable discharge, he got an other discharge. You know, the military's got kindler and gentler. They used to give you a dishonorable discharge. Now they'll give you a, we really don't want you anymore discharge.
So he's living with his wife and all these kids. Do any of them appear to have known that he had all this stuff there?
His wife did. His wife knew it.
How grateful are you that she reported it?
Well, I'm very grateful that she called us, because this C4 is very dangerous, and in the wrong hands, we could have had a big bomb at a location with lots of people. At the end of the day, because of her cooperation and the work of our deputies and detectives, the ability for this to get in other people's wrong hands that has nefarious reasons to have it, or he all of a sudden got mad and now he has it. But fortunately, at this point in the investigation, he appeared more, and this is my terminology, not his, to be a doomsday prepper to protect himself. But he had it. That means someone else could have had it. That means he could have sold it. That means he could have gotten mad later on. He could, who knows. But we don't see anything at this point in the investigation that shows that he's radicalized or was a danger.
How do you know that these explosives and this equipment was stolen from the U.S. government and that he didn't buy it from the black market or something?
Well, it's clearly marked that it's military equipment. If you look at the markings on it, there's markings on this that shows that it's military. So, and he was in the military, Wyoming, Florida, and actually in the Army. He kind of hangs out, they said, with the SWAT kind of guys, the tactical guys, the EOD kind of guys. That's what he fancies himself. What we fancy him as is a jailbird.
Do you know anything about him also conducting or training for active shooter scenarios?
I don't personally know of that. However, we have not had a chance to interview him because he was served a warrant where he was training law enforcement canine in Mississippi. We've not personally talked to him. I don't know that he's going to want to talk to us now, but he's certainly got some problems.